Guys, welcome back to another video. Today is finally the day. Victory has been down for a month and a half, maybe? I'm not sure. But it is finally time to get the beautiful built motor in the truck. If you guys can see, beautiful built trans over there from Diesel Unlimited. Shout out to Garen again for everything they have done, supplied. And that thing's ready to put some power down. Down there, we got a fresh transfer case. That is the original transfer case that actually came out of Victory. Ended up being a snap ring that just came undone. And domestic transfer case in Forest Hill, Maryland. Refreshed it, put all new bearings in it. It is ready to go. So we pretty much are ready to drop the engine in, drop that stuff in, and start making some noises. I'm extremely pumped. This has been a long time coming, years and years ago. I've always wanted to have a built motor truck. To see where we are now with the truck, it is very humbling, to say the least. I'm extremely grateful, extremely thankful for the people that I have in my corner that have helped me get the truck this far, and we're only going to go further. So years ago when I went 10s, I thought that as fast as the truck was going to go. I never would have thought that I would, I had dreams of doing it, just never thought I'd be able to do it, pushing this thing to the 9s. And just again, I am extremely humbled, thankful for everybody. List goes on and on. It's insane. The amount of support that this truck has had over the years, amount of people I've met with it, it's extremely incredible. And I cannot wait to get this engine in and start making some passes. But engine's still in the stand. We got to take it off. We got to put the driver's side, or no, passenger side engine mount on because the stand bolts to that. And we got a new fuel line from the lift pump. We're going to run that before the trans is in and before the engine's in, probably. Make it a little easier. It's going to be a good day. Probably not going to get it started in this video, but I'll at least get the engine in. Maybe get the trans in. I don't know. We'll see how far we get, though. But let's get cracking. Let's get this engine off the stand. And let's put the driver, I keep saying it, the passenger side engine mount on and hook it to the hoist, which obviously we're going to have to do before we take it off the stand. And get this engine in. Let's go. Guys, got to bring the hoist over, but we got the turbo off, downpipe, wastegate, because you cannot fit the engine in with a turbo on it. It is too high up and it will not clear with the front diff in. So got all that all off. Got to put passenger side engine mount on. Driver side is on. We got one more thing to talk about before we is the plug that goes in the back of the driver's side rail. So let's go talk about that. And that is putting a relief valve in the driver's side rail. Reason I am not putting a plug is, guys, this causes nothing but issues. Stay away from these things on high horsepower builds. These will cause serious damage. Been there, done that. What happens is when you're doing a wide open throttle pull, let's say you got a 10-second truck, and obviously you got rail pressure up there. It's a spicy tune, whatever. And you let off the throttle, rail pressure spikes. What happens with a plug when it spikes is there's nowhere for it to be released at. Backs up into the system. It could blow a check ball out of your injectors. It could stick your injectors wide open because it has nowhere to go. This has happened to me. It has stuck all 8 injectors open and actually melted all 8 pistons. I will attach a video or a photo below of showing you guys what that looks like. But do not run these in high horsepower setups. Not worth it. Now, Exergy and S&S makes their own relief valves with different PSI ratings for whatever you're doing with your truck. They make different ones. For what I'm be doing for now, I'm just going to shim the factory one. PPE makes a nice kit, comes with a couple shims in there, and that is the part number there. It can be used on 07.5 to 10 Dodges and 04.5 to 10 Duramaxes. I've used these plenty of times, and this is really important on dual pump trucks. Dual pumps, this is mandatory. Single pumps, hey, if you want to chance it with a plug, go ahead. But this is very, very important on dual pump setup. So what happens with the stock valve is you just pretty much shim the factory spring. And so if it does see a serious rail spike, it's still going to open up. It's still going to release some pressure and get it out of the system versus going back into your injectors or whatever. So we are going to do that. It's pretty easy. You just need a vise, some Evil Energy AN kit here for the fuel line. Stuff's on Amazon. It's fairly cheap. Comes with a kit with all connectors and stuff. This is -8. Figure out which fitting we're going to use on the CP3. We got a bunch here, and then we'll get that mounted up, and then we'll just push it pretty much down the frame rail and zip tie it up, and then we'll figure out which fitting we're going to need for the fast when we get to that point. But let's get this on, let's get the engine in, and we can figure out this at a later time. I'm not really worried about that part, but let's go see what we got. So this is the angle we went with. Got all our line here. I just want to do this end first and figure out what we're going to do here. Oh, sorry for the camera, guys. So I'm going to feed this up because this is where the return side comes up at. Pretty much going to feed it over here. Put it on the CP3 there. Well, I want to run it under here. And then that will go onto the CP3 down there, if you guys could see. And I'll run it like this. Clean it up, and then it'll come up like right about here or so. And pretty clean. So -8 all the way from the lift pump to the CP3. And yeah, so we're ready to put this engine in. We'll get it off the stand first. So good to go. Guys, we are finally ready to get it in. Got the dipstick in that I actually forgot until I started putting the driver's side. I said it again, the passenger side engine mount. So we are finally ready to drop this thing in there, and let's get to it. Cheers. The engine is in her hole finally after about a month or so of sitting on the stand. Actually a couple of months of sitting on the stand, but it's in there finally. And it is just got to put this pulley on. I got to still do the power steering pump. I got to put the water pump bypass back on because this is where I've mounted it at, with the chain, turbo obviously, wastegate, downpipe, and then pretty much wrap up the wiring. This harness, well, not this harness here, goes around, will connect to the coolant tank, AC, and I'm going to shorten this line, or this wire, shorten this wire for my EGT probe. I do not want it on that side. I want it on this side now because I think I'm going to run a back pressure on this side. So clean that up, and then get the front end back in, and then maybe tomorrow or later on the week we'll get the trans in. So gonna go eat some dinner and then come back in here and at least finish up this area. So stay tuned. Just keep you a little updated. Last you guys seen I was putting the power steering pump on. That was last weekend. Here it is Sunday now, and we are ready to hopefully get this thing finished up and started today. I'm not gonna be able to drive it or anything like that because I'm still waiting on my coolant pipe to be powder coated, and I'm waiting on U-joints for my rear drive shaft. So that will all come in this week, and we'll get that wrapped up and hopefully go break this thing in. So today we're going to dive into it. Got to finish up in the engine bay, put the front clip on, all that stuff, put the turbo on, and finish up some wiring and stuff, and put the trans in. And fingers crossed everything goes well. We can get this thing started today. So back at it we go. My fuel line ran all the way from the lift pump to the CP3. That is -8. You guys can see the nice fitting in there. I put my downpipe on. I put some 3/8 cross bolts through. Safety first, guys. You don't know when these turbos explode. Granted, it does have a stack on it, but still. When that turbine wheel explodes, if it does, it could do some damage. Other vents are calling for that nowadays, which is super smart, and safety first. So we got that in because I did not feel like pulling this downpipe back out to do that later down the road because it is a pain to get in here. Could not imagine a 4-inch. Oh my gosh, it would be a joke. So that's 3.5, and it's already super tight. Put the wastegate on. We have to put some air to it that get it opened up so it gets the seal right. Get all that on. Turbine housing is just sitting there. We will get that all buttoned up, put the turbo on, and then our whole cooling stack here and all that. So still got a lot of work to do, not much. Obviously we have to put the trans in over there. It'll focus. If you guys see that, it does have a 5-speed drum in there if you can't read that. A little insider joke we got going on. So we will get back cracking at this thing and fill it up with some fluid. Waiting on this coolant pipe, so I cannot drive it. But hopefully we could actually get this thing started today. That would be lovely, and hopefully we have no issues. Knock on wood. So let's get cracking. Guys, so we still got to do the heater core lines. Turbo's on, wastegate is on, downpipe is hooked up here. It is not hooked up down there yet. Got the AC compressor on. Obviously, I'm going to clean up all this and zip tie it all nice and clean and organized. I'm actually still gotta, which I could just do that right now. If I can with one hand. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Got it. But we got hook up the SoCal coolant bypassed dash 10 lines, which I got from Chad at Shocker Fittings. He supplied me with a kit that should get this done. Everything looks to be like it will. So this line here will go into the upper rad hose pipe, which I do not have yet, so I cannot run that, which I really just need an elbow coming up straight into the pipe. It should be about right here is where I set it up on the pipe, the fitting. And then you got, if you can see down there, the fitting off of the coolant pipe that goes to the oil cooler. So I'm gonna run this probably this way. I should have room, and then a little 90-degree here. See what fittings we got from Chad at Shocker Fittings, and see what we got. This is the kit here, some line, labeled Shocker Fittings, great quality, bunch of different fittings he supplied me with. So let's see. Back over to the truck, we're going to put a 90 here, a 120 here, which will just feed down into that, and then another 120 here, which will feed up to the pipe that should fit about right here. We get twisted, however, I can't really, I know I put it like kind of in front of where this sits, so it's about right here somewhere. So I'll wait until we get the coolant pipe back from powder coat, but at least we could get this one done, and that's done. So go over to the bench, we'll get this line made. And there we go for that line. That looks pretty damn good. Maybe I should have painted this, but it will. But that thing's so tight, it's not going to move and go into the power steam pump or anything like that. The thing's not going anywhere, as you should say. So next, we're going to get the trans in. I'm not going to record me doing that. We've done it a million times on this channel. So we'll get that in and hopefully start this thing up. All right, guys, don't mind me. I am dirty getting that trans in, getting the down pipe lined up with a total pain. I have a feeling it is going to crack. I'm going to have to hood stack this thing. Don't want to do it, but I think that's what's going to happen. But we got some oil in it, got the trans in, got some trans fluid in, got the lift pump disconnected because we're going to crank it and get everything lubed up a little bit before we actually get the fire up. And then we'll plug the lift pump back in and then try and get this thing to start. Fresh power steering pump, so we got to put some fluid in there, and with the wheels off the ground, try and bleed it a little bit. Tonight I really just want to fire it up, see what we got, and then tomorrow or sometime this week we'll actually put the front end on it and go break it in. So fingers crossed this thing starts, it sounds good, and I'm not going to let it idle long. As soon as it starts up, pretty much going to look over it and then shut it back off. So let's get the power steering blood a little bit, get the wheels turned, and then we'll start cranking on this thing. Got the jump box on it. I left the front end undone and just put this together so trans fluid don't puke everywhere. I cranked it a little bit. Now let's put the lift pump fuse in. Let's see what we got. While the lift pump primes itself a little bit, get this blood a little bit. I got my laptop hooked up to see what rail pressure is doing and oil pressure and stuff, so get this blood a little bit. All right, guys, see what we got. Oops, hold on. Whew. Come on. Come on. Now, of course the battery is dying. That jump box does not work well whatsoever. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to let the jump box charge and the battery charge because this ain't happening. All right, guys, let's try this again. Oh, yes! Yes! Fuck yeah! Guys, this is so exciting. What a feeling, guys. This feels absolutely incredible. I can't help but to smile. This is amazing, amazing, amazing feeling. Words just cannot describe. Hearing that thing for the first time, I didn't let it idle long because I haven't broken it in yet. But just hearing it run for a little bit of time it did run, man, this is incredible. I cannot wait to go break this thing in, which will be the next video, breaking this thing in and hopefully get to enjoy it. We're not out of the woods yet. Obviously it runs, but we don't know if there's any leaks or anything. Let's pray there's not. There's no coolant running through it or anything like that, but no fuel leaks so far. No oil leaks so far, but then again, it was only running for a short period of time. But man, this is an amazing feeling. All the hard work and time I put in this thing. And guys, it's literally just me working on this thing. It just makes it feel even better that, I did all this. So guys, please stay tuned. Next video, we are going to get this thing out in the street, get some street time on it, break it in. Everyone's break-in procedure is different, but main thing is we're not going to let this thing idle long. We're just going to get it together, go drive it. I'll talk about that in the next video, how we're going to break it in. But guys, this is an amazing feeling. Something I dreamed about for a long time, and we finally got a built motor in this truck. So guys, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video and get this thing broken in.